I am not trans, but a part of me growing up always wished that I had been born a boy. Hear me out. There is no point in my life where I will ever try to convert or become a male. I'm a female, I've accepted that. And I've realized that part of the reason I felt this way growing up is because of the way people treated me as a young girl. Let me know if this sounds familiar, but when I was growing up, all the fun stuff was reserved for the boys. I often heard things like, this is not how a lady should act, or that's not for girls, or girls shouldn't do this. And it was everything that I wanted to do. All the fun stuff, all the roughhousing, all the sports, even I wasn't allowed to play soccer because it was a boys' sport. Sports aren't for girls. Working out isn't for girls. Being anything but cute and delicate and feminine and pretty and malleable is not for girls. Fast forward, and I'm a little older. I'm like 16, 17 now, and I start wanting to go to the gym because this is whenever the gym was starting to become more of a trend. But I just remember telling my mom that, hey, I'm gonna go work out. And she goes, what? Almost had a heart attack. She's like, just make sure don't lift heavy, okay? You don't want to get too bulky. You know, men don't like that. And it just was this constant occurrence throughout me living with my mother or just visiting my mother even after I moved out, where every time I looked a little bit too muscular, she would say something and she'd say, hey, you know, are you gonna slow down working out a little bit? I think you're strong enough. You good now? Like, do something else. Just there was always comments about it, and I can't blame her. Like, I love my mom, but she grew up in the Philippines where everyone, including the men, are pretty skinny and thin. So just seeing a female, her own daughter, be everything that she herself didn't want to be because maybe someone else put those expectations on her, like, that was just, she was trying to save me from the world treating me bad for being a muscular woman. But I was already in too deep. I mean, eventually I got into calisthenics. There's no going back after that. Now, in a first world context, this might not seem like a really big deal, but when you take a look at modern gym culture, you still see women suppressing their own capabilities in order to fit this delicate stereotype. And if you ever get into a sport where it seems like it's a little bit more acceptable to be muscular as a female, you think that it's gonna get better, but even the people that support you are gonna make comments that kind of stab at you, even if they don't mean to. So a couple weeks ago, I went to a rave. I don't do that very often. I'm not a raver, but I went to a rave because my friends dragged me out. And one of my friends, because I was in front of them the whole time, I'm talking about something, blah, 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 and he goes, yeah, but you have a man back. Like, if I saw you, I wouldn't even know you're a woman. Like, you have a man back. He just said something along those lines. Maybe not as harsh, but definitely man back was in there. And I was thinking to myself, well, you know, I was going pretty hard at the rave because I love going hard at concerts. Like, I love moshing and stuff. And he probably did see my back the whole time. And I know I have a man back. You know, people say you should never feel bad if someone insults you, because if they said, I hate your purple hair and your hair is not purple, then why would it bother you? Well, in this case, my hair was purple, metaphorically. So what do? Like, do I just sit with that? In my mind, do I retaliate? How do I process that comment that shouldn't hurt me, but for some reason my emotions are going off like fireworks? Mind you, I don't think he meant anything by it, but because of my internal beliefs and the things that I struggle with, my insecurities, that hit me really hard. Despite all our efforts to be empowered women, we still have this little voice in our ear that tells us that we need to be delicate and we need to be soft and gentle, and that everyone should adore us and want to protect us, and that's the way a woman should be and present herself. And yet somehow we feel like that doesn't really align with our identity. And to make matters worse, we have both men and women trying to push this idea that the traditional woman, the way a woman should be and has been for centuries, is a woman that doesn't work and is maintained and taken care of, when this simply is not the case. For most women, since the beginning of our existence, we have worked. And not just taking care of babies and juggling house chores. Women have worked in the fields. My grandmother worked in the fields. So if this standard that we thought was based on history is completely false, then what does it actually mean to be a woman? The only way you can truly understand what it means to be a woman is to explore and be curious and be unapologetic about the things that come naturally to you as a woman. All of that being said, I will not ever negate the fact that there are things that come naturally to women because we are women. Like, our brain chemistry is different from that of a man, not just because of the way we were raised, but also just because of the way we were created. And that's not a bad thing, but if you are an outlier, don't treat that as something that needs to be suppressed. Be yourself and just be an outlier and just use that as a gift, because every time you look at God's creation and you say, wow, that's beautiful, you see the mountains, you see the trees, a beach, wherever you live, or even just birds, and you say, wow, that's actually really beautiful. And then you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, oh, that's disgusting. You are God's creation. Don't forget that. So all the things that make you unique, including your masculine tendencies or your huge biceps, okay, they're not really that big in this video, but you get the point. Everything that makes you you and unique, whether or not it has a masculine or feminine label on it, accept it. And maybe it's what's going to be what makes you special. So stop running away from it. All of this just to say that women were never meant to be fragile. So if the only thing stopping you from getting stronger is the fear that you'll be less feminine, you're working completely backwards. You shouldn't be soft just because you never had any other option. You should be soft because you are strong and you choose to be soft. It's like someone who is extremely strong and decides not to fight with people because they know the power that they hold, as opposed to the guy that never works out a day in his life and he avoids any sort of conflict because he's scared he'll get absolutely pummeled to the ground if anyone raises a finger against him. A bit of an exaggeration in that analogy there, but I want you to be encouraged to equip yourself and to become capable, to become strong and to be flexible. Everything about that is beautiful, and anyone who thinks otherwise has some serious work they need to do. I mean, serious work. Like, if you have a man in your life that is threatened by the fact that you're getting stronger, that's a sign to leave and run, because that type of insecurity is going to surface in other parts of the relationship or the friendship. I'm not here to give you relationship advice, but I am here to tell you that being strong and working out is never going to be something that you will regret. So, that being said, go out and get strong, get fit, work out, try new sports. Be yourself. Literally just be yourself. That's what I want people to get from all of my videos. And if you are interested in calisthenics specifically, or you do want to get more flexible, get stronger, get back into working out, take back control of your body, I have a YouTube for that, and I do one-on-one coaching. So check out my links below. And if not, I will see you in the next video. You got this. Bye.